2007. I would say 2007 was kind of like a bridge season for like an all new era of basketball in the NBA. The league was becoming like way more like flashy and star driven. I think it's safe to say that this year was the first year that the NBA became like LeBron's league. Now, before we even get into anything, the Celtics were down bad this year. Longtime coach and executive Red Auerbach passed away at the age of 89, and Celtics legend Dennis Johnson also passed away this season. And also the Celtics won 24 games and went on a franchise worst 18-game losing streak. So 07 wasn't a great year for a Celtic fan, but I'm pretty sure it gets a little better after this. Now, prior to this season, the league made a couple changes. NBA draft prospects would now need to be a full year removed from high school to enter the draft. And I'd like to welcome you to the one and done era. And the league would also announce at their draft that they'd be implementing a whole new design for their basketball. The traditional Spalding ball was replaced with like a microfiber composite ball, and it was supposed to have more consistency in the way it like handles and bounces. But the boys hated it. This ball was so bad that like January 1st of this season, the first season it was implemented, they were like, oh shit, never mind, take it back, we'll get rid of it. And they brought back the traditional ball. Apparently it was giving players paper cut like injuries to their hands, which I don't even know how that would happen, but it did. And in December, former MVP and Sixers legend Allen Iverson was traded to Denver for Andre Miller. Now, don't sleep on Andre Miller because he led the league in assists one year. Yeah, look it up. And when this trade went through, they paired him and Miller, creating the Corn Bros. Corn Bros. Kobe Bryant debuted his new number 24 this season, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, and Kobe had 4 consecutive 50-point games this season. And it's the 5th highest 50-point streak ever in NBA history, behind Wilt's. Yes, all 4 other streaks were Wilt Chamberlain. That's just crazy. Jason Kidd and Vince Carter became the 10th pair of teammates ever to record a triple-double in the same game. And it had almost been 20 years since we last saw this when Mike and Scotty did it back in the day. Toronto Raptors won their first ever division title in their 12-year history without Vince. To cap off the season, Dirk won MVP. Yep. But don't celebrate too fast, Dirk. Because in the playoffs, the Golden State Warriors and their famous We Believe team upset the Mavs in the first round as the 8th seed. And the Warriors would move on to play the Jazz in the semis, where Baron Davis would have that like nasty dunk on AK-47. But they would lose in 5 to the upstart Utah Jazz. Utah, however, was no match for Tim Duncan and the Spurs. San Antonio dispatched of Utah in 5 games and went to their 4th ever finals. Now in the East, it was all about the Cavs and LeBron. Now, with LeBron carrying the weight of an entire state on his back, he went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the rival Pistons. And in Game 5 of that series, LeBron went bananas. He scored 48 points, which is a career high for him in the playoffs, and he scored his team's last 25 points. And they got the double overtime win, and LeBron this was his coming out party. Like, LeBron is here. But in the finals, LeBron ain't enough to beat the Spurs. And the Spurs swept the Cavs, and Tony Parker won the Finals MVP. Pretty sure it's kind of well known that the 07 Cavs were not good, like at all. Like, wait, you expect Boobie Gibson to like do anything against Tony Parker?